Now, the next session we have is a very informative one. We have Professor Adhimoorthy Prasannan, an assistant professor working in Taiwan, National Taiwan University of Science and Technology in the Department of Material Science and Engineering. Exactly the target that a lot of our students are wishing to go to. So he will introduce to us an effective way to write a winning research proposal, a very important part of being a postgraduate student. Let's welcome Professor Adhimoorthy Prasannan. Are you online? Yes, namaskaram. We can see you. Wanna come? We cannot hear your voice. Maybe your audio is not on yet. There is a mic that you need to click on over your screen. We can see your screen, but we still cannot hear from you.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, we got you. But then your screen is lost. Can we?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
I got it now.
Perfect. Okay.
Yes.
All yours.
Hope you can hear right now, right?
Yes, we can hear you, and your PowerPoint is perfect.
Okay, great. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Shall I directly go to the? I think that due to time limitation, I shall go to the our main topic. The main topic is how to write the best proposal to be the winning aspect. To be winning aspect, because everybody can be write the proposal. It's not a big issue. But every times we are doing some kind of mistake every times. That kind of mistakes always make us some kind of troubling into the success. So most of the professors or most of the institute, they want short and sweet and successful proposal. That's the reason I would like to give some tips how to we can prepare the effective proposal. That's why I am, as I mentioned before, this is Adhimoorthy Prasannan from Department of Material Science of Engineering from National Taiwan University of Science and Technology. We can call like Taiwan Tech. I would like to introduce about my institute, but some of my students, our students already explained much about that. There are some time I can got it to explain more. That's why I should skip this kind of about my Taiwan Tech explanations, even though we have the two branches we have, but we are the one of the top university in the Taiwan. Even we are the center of city. That means we have many exposure to continuous. So I got my PhD here and I started work in the same institute as a professor. So my lifetime journey is started from the Taiwan Tech only and being in Taiwan Tech. So I am being proud to be the Taiwan Tech students. Okay, by the way, I shall go our presentation. First of all, we have to answer some question. The question is, what is the proposal, first of all? The proposal is supposed to be, have to be mentioned like a, so the proposal should be simple and the formal document should be explained what you plan for your research topic and worth for the researching. Yeah, you have to justify your research will be worth or not. And how you are planning this aspect, whatever you are giving, that is called like we can keep like a research proposal. So the minimum guarantee for the research proposal is should be the easy to read. You should not forget this one. This is the most important, because whenever you are read properly, then only the easy for the evaluate. So that means you have to make sure your proposal is the easy to read first of all. Then should be the skimmable. And we have to keep some organization with a complete way, and you have to ask many questions by complying many researcher, and you have to give the sum of your things will be better like this way. So that means many people are thinking if I use a hi-fi English, that means harder English means the people's thinking will be good. But unfortunately, many people don't want to read much time to be in the research proposal. That's why try to avoid some kind of too much technical words. If it means this should be like a effective research proposal should be that. So that means what are the requirement in your institute or your professor needed, that kind of requirement you can just fulfill and write as an easy way to evaluate. That's good enough. So before you are adding the proposal, you have to check your target. Who is the target? What is you are going to be do, and what are the problem should be exhibit in your research. That means target is the first aim. From the target, you have to design some research designer doing or collecting some informations and what are the research you want to do it and how you are getting that kind of research by achievement or this kind of object you have to keep as a research design. So once you have finished the design, you have to make sure what are the benefit you have in your materials or in your proposal. That means your every proposal must be keep some target, design, and the benefit. The benefit must be significant and should be more important. Before you are getting a significant benefit, then you have to understand what really happening in your proposal. So that means that small things we have to consider before we start our proposal. So that means you have to pick up your topic. Then from the topic you have to concentrate. Okay, this is you have to pick up your message. Then you have to identify what are the problem going on particular topic. You just recognize whenever you are right and you can get a more idea and what are the problem will be there. That means identification of research problem is other more issue. So whenever you are understand and identify the problem, you can get some idea what will we can do and what I can do. Like this, you can get some kind of questions. And you have to develop your own some kind of questions. Why I have to do, what I have to do, for what I need to do, what are the things I can do. Like this, you can create many research questions with you, then automatically it can be have some idea. Then once you are finished, get the idea, the question you have to answer by your designing a proposal. So that means this is a more important. You have to give the already raised the questions. From the question, you have to give some answer. That answer this kind of problem I could achieve by this method. Like this, you have to develop some kind of design. That design is going to be giving you answer for you. So once you are answering, then you can start the proposal. This is a general way we are doing the proposal writing. So whenever you are thinking this one, again we have to consider how should be your proposal. I mean, what are the needness to fulfill your proposal means you have to consider few things. One supposed to be unique. It cannot be normal proposal. It cannot be generally, okay, I'm going there, I'm coming there, I go there. Like this, you should not be, because many times I am receiving the proposal from Indian students. That proposals they're generally making like a study plan means they're thinking like a study plan means, okay, I come to Taiwan, I'm just finished my undergraduate students, I want to study master degree. That's only general statement only they written. They never written or never write anything about their research, about their proposals. That is a so kind of lagging we are finding. First of all, that means your proposal should be unique. Then okay, fine. You are going to be select the unique one, then automatically you have to consider about your originality. The originality means what you have your proposal, the new one should not be copy or should not be replicate or should not be just to follow or rehearse someone research. That is not really good going to be work out for us. That means you have to keep the originality. Then for the originality, you have to make variety of steps by keeping proper outline. Okay, the proper outline make you the different steps. The different steps that can be giving you different scenario or attraction to read your materials. No, then whenever you are started to read, then you have to keep some of the problem. What problem you could understand? You get the proposal from the problem. How you can give the solution? These are the information. If you keep your like a proposal, that will be more effective way. That means these kind of things, how you are constructed by contest. That means you have to give some intellectual contest into your materials, means that will be more attractive towards the reader. Whenever some professor or institute management people are reading your proposal, this within this kind of things, they feel is good proposal. That means we have to consider few things. Okay, then again, I can ask you to, like, a proposal could be this complete and should be have some problem. That means complaint somebody and fulfill requirement of your institute. That means where you are going to be apply or which professor you are going to be apply. You have to make sure what are the criteria they have, what are the topic they have, what are the format they have. Everything you could ask first of all. That means you have to get the fulfillment from the institute. Then after that, you have to start to write. And whenever you are start to write, as I mentioned, it should not be generic. It should be like some kind of interest must be there. If an interest, not only interest is enough, of course, as I mentioned, the readable and the simple statement is more important. Because once they can easy to read, or simple statement means everyone can be understand your proposal and it's easy to evaluate. Once it can be the evaluate easily means, of course, we are the winner in the proposal aspect. So whenever you are getting that point, then we have to consider about your topic should be the heading by heading. Each and every point we have to use a head and a subheading. If you are keeping means, the looks very nice. When if your here looks very nice, it will be more good to see it, right? Then one more thing we have to consider should be write the proper way for your proposal with the limited words. The limited words is more important. Somebody last year I received some proposal that contain around 15 page for admission. PhD admission, we are getting 15 page of proposal. This is too much lengthy. I think this much, even our funding, we are required government funding. For that reason also, we are not going to be prepared this much page. That means you have to find out the word limitation. That means you have to keep some limitation to write the length of the proposal and write it. Finally, if you make kind of question and answer like this pattern, it will be more easy to evaluate. Your proposal, you may know what is the problem over there. Then you can ask what these are the problem will become, how you are resolve it, how you are evaluate. This kind of thing means you have to answer this kind of problem will be evaluated. You can solve by this kind of approach. Like this, if you mention that means it will be more easy. That means I suggest you keep like a answer booklet pattern. If you write the proposal, that will be more unique way to use it. Okay. If I write the proposal, what are the steps we need to follow? Of course, if you want to make a successful anything, you have to make always homework. Do your best homework every times. Whenever you are doing the homework, this kind of homework will be make your regular work, regular commitment towards writing the proposal. So whenever you are use the regular commitment and the proposal writing, then only we can get the proper structure. Because every time we are reading, every time we are working means we can get a proper outline or proper structure. That once you are getting, and we have to make sure our project goal and objective. The project goal and objectives are most important, because many people can be designed by your proposal from the few things. Maybe of course from the later on the slide we are going to see those things. So main things is one of them is goal or aim and objectives. That means you have to develop your plan. Then of course submit to the right time is also needed. Then automatically we will be the successful one. So before that, we have to consider in the proposal what are the problem will be there. Why we should do it. That is main questions. That means you have to find the step to be the taken. First of all, the question should be asked with you. Then for the question, how you are going to be answered. Okay. Once you are answered the question, okay, how you are going to be achieved. The 3 steps are more important here. So whenever before you start the proposal, you have to mention or you have to start with your things. Ask the question from you: what are the problem here? Why I should do? Like means you have to select your statement with the problem. Then you have to give the problem identification and problem prioritize and justify. These things will be that. Then after that, what are the information is already exhibited? It's already available. That means you want to know. That means you have to go with the literature review. The steps to be the literature review. The literature review come from the source like internet or Google or something like journals, books, everything like review. Now, similarly, why we should do the research and what are the accomplishment will be that. That means you have to keep the aim and the objective. The aim, you have to keep the specific objective and the hypothesis, anything you have to fix it. Similarly, the methodology we have, for example, how do we carry out the research and how to collect the data, how to give the such a proper data. Like this means you have to bring this information from the research methodology. From the research methodology, you have combined some method, data collection, sampling, how to interpret data, everything we have to combine. This means you have to, before you start, you have to think yourself, you have to ask yourself the questions, and you have to step you need to take out as action. From the action, we have to use some kind of achievement. This slides is more important to be the effective research proposal writing. So it means before you are start, you have to think about read more, take everyday notes, and discuss with your professor. Do the step-by-step topics. Again, discuss if you're confused. If you have any questions, you have to ask yourself. And systematically, you can understand your problem. Then, best thing, you should be avoid the plagiarisms. What mean plagiarism? Just to copy from somebody, some idea, some text, some thinking is called plagiarism. The plagiarisms, we have to make sure, first of all, we have concept. That means before that, we have to use that some common mistake always writing proposal. That common mistake, why? It should be like a leg up contest. Then we cannot limit that one. We are writing like anything. Then we are not able to give the proper citations. Then unable to write some literature review. This everything will be happening. So whenever we are using this one, most of the time we are speaking about more on the minor issues, but we cannot speak in the major issue. That's one more thing. Of course, they have the many topics, the discussion, the rambling, but we never ever talk about the main things. That means the best proposal should be like a streamless river. It should be go like a flow, like anything. Should not be stuck anywhere. So that means, and try to avoid irrelevant reference also, and should not be too long, should not be too length, too shorter. This will be that. That means most of the times we are confusing object and method. Most of the times it's not really good. Then it's similarly objective and activity also the aim we are confusing. That means we have to focus some method and we are not able to provide proper evidence for your imaginations or your hypothesis. And also you are not able to give you some justification or technical approaches. That's why you are using some common mistakes in our proposals. That means to do understand, first of all, professional looking, informative, or meaningful, clear heading, to be conscious, precious, and spell check, grammar. These are things should be there. Should not be copy, paste. If you not understand, should not write it. That's why the plagiarism should not be acceptable for anywhere. That means you have to give some sufficient time to understand the concept. Don't copy. Then you have to rephrase yourself. And like this, cite properly where you are copy from the next one. Then if you are copy, or you have to make sure where you have rephrased or not. Then if you want to confirm how much you have the plagiarism there. You have to check some cross check, authenticate, and this kind of software we can use for the check your plagiarism. So these are the way we can avoid the plagiarism, like start from earlier, cite properly, proofread, quote, and paraphrase, reference page, and discuss with your expert. This everything will be make your less plagiarism. Of course, there are some outline for the proposal. There should be key title, abstract, or outline, some literature review, current drawbacks, methodology, anticipated outcome, and your time schedule, and resource reference. This must be kept in, and some people will be prefer like this. There are two way we are using. The keyword is the most important for us. Why means whoever want to check now is internet world. That means the internet era, everywhere we want to find from the internet means we have to use from the keyword or title only. That means your title should be clear and concise, and it should be the relevant for your proposal. So that means your title and keyword is the most attractive things. Anybody can see first of all title only, then only they can go with aim. That aim or objective, we have to make sure with some kind of things. We have to spend sometimes we have to aim, we can use objective. Aim can be the intentions, but objective can be a specific goal. So that means you have to make sure the proper aim or proper objective with the proper manner. That's why we are keeping like they're called like a SMART guideline. The SMART guideline is like a specific, should be measurable, and it should be how to achieve, like achievable, then realistic, the time consistent. These things will be more appropriate way to explain our guidelines. Sorry, shall I take 5 more minutes? Because I feel I am exceeding time, right? Can I take 5 more minutes, right? Okay, I shall continue 5 more minutes. If you have any issue, let me know. Sure, sorry, because I want to continue little more, that's it. By the way, the aim and objective is the most important. You have to distinguish your aim from the objective. Aim can be a broader, but the objective should be specific and a concentrated one. So that means many research will be designed from your objective. So make it is more specific and more concrete. And step by step, how you are going to be achieve that objective. This is the most important for us in the research proposal. Then apart from that, we have to consider about abstract or outline. Abstract, you have to make sure your research proposal or research problem should be in the objective. Second step, you have to mention about method and approach. Of course, you have to keep some key of research, expected research, or you have some argument. You have to keep in the abstract or outline. Of course, you have to keep some kind of anticipated outcome in your abstract and outlines. That is more important. Of course, next one, introductions is the most way we are doing the mistake in the literature review. How we are writing like anything, like whenever you are going to be write the literature review or introductions, we have to make like a kind of funnel kind of approaches. Like you can see the funnel is starting very bigger, then it's come to narrowing it, and it is more concise. That means your introduction start from the broader way, from general to specific. Then you have to keep your broad view from the background. Then you have to make to narrow the research, and you have to find the related research articles. Then finally, you have to kind your hypothesis statement. You have to find it. This is like a funnel kind of approach will be there. The topic background should be the more specific whenever you are going to be finish it. That means you have to search and select your source, identify your gap from the source, then you have to get from the outline, then write. This is the way we have to use the literature review for the introductions. That means you have to make the summarize and analyze and interpret yourself and evaluate well-structured and paragraph. This is the way you have to think. First of all, read more and summarize yourself and analyze interpretation to evaluate more well-structured introduction we can get it. Then, of course, we have to think about that methodology. What kind of method we are going to be used? That is how to select the method. And what are the selection you, how do you justify this kind of method will be appropriate for my proposal? That means requirement, the methodology is more important here. Then what are the approach you are going to be using? Instrumentations, infrastructure, sample accesses, and data analysis. These are things also needed to improve. So when you are considered about your next stage, you have to give some connection to your method and anticipating outcome. This is the other key things before you are keeping the methodology. Then whenever you are keeping the other one, you have to understand the proper principle for the particular methods to obtain your proposal achievement. So this is why where we have to connect the all are from the methodology. That means in the unique way, the summary, you have to think about your own way, a unique research proposal and the originality. Then the whatever you think, you start to be like an outline, proper outline, step by step. Then you have to code with some anticipated problem and their corresponding solutions. Then you have to keep proper contest. Then if you start to design like this means it will be good proposal. I think the proposal method, if you whatever I mentioned here, you just follow the small tips. What I think can do, what I cannot be do if you follow this means. Of course, everyone can write the successful proposal for your research career or for your higher educations. Hope this talk will be useful for anybody, everyone. And thank you for your, if you have, thank you for your time. And if you have any concern or questions, write me.
Thank you very much, Professor Adhimoorthy Prasannan. I
Thank
really
you.
love your PowerPoint. It's very simple and very detailed to the facts. And also, I love the visualization that you have provided. From a Taiwanese point of view, reading these proposals sometimes can be quite complicated for us non-native speakers, especially when the sentences become too complicated. And the way that you have portrayed your content is exactly the way that a non-native speaker would love to read and understand the content.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am,
Thank
for
you
your
very much.
great concern.
And
It's really
I hope that this session will help a lot of students who are writing their research proposal. Thank you very much for being with us and preparing such a wonderful presentation.
Thank you so very much for your great opportunity.
Thank you and see you next time.
See you next time. Bye bye.
I hope that has solved a lot of people's problem. And please keep in mind when you write your personal statement and your research proposal, your target audience is the program who are wishing to take you and the university that you are applying to. Their native language may not be English, so keep it simple and to the point, just like what Professor has just said. And follow the steps and you will have a wonderful writing to present. In the next session, we are introducing